Hello there. For those of you that have followed the channel, this video is obviously completely different from the content that I usually do. And for those of you that are new to the channel, hello and welcome. This is predominantly a music review channel, but I thank you for stopping by to check out this fitness-related video. During the month of May, I did the Lena K-pop body challenge or K-pop idol challenge. So before we get into sort of my experiences with the challenge and what I did during the challenge, diet, all that, how I felt about the program and that kind of stuff, I gotta give you a bit of background information on who I am in relation to my personal relationship with the whole fitness and thing. So before 2020, I had not really worked out. In fact, I think the last time I actually did do any sort of working out was during 2014, and that was because it was a requirement for a semester at high school. I definitely had been not really the most active person for a few years. Also, one thing that some of you who have been around with the channel for a little bit will know is that I am on the spectrum. I do have Asperger's. It is a form of autism. So I don't know if this is necessarily in relation to being on the spectrum, but I do have a pretty strong depression, and what my counselor recommended that I would start working out. That's kind of one of the main catalysts to how I started. The other thing was over the past year, just noticed like how really just say out of shape I am. It was actually a good time for me to start to change. What I started with was with the DVD, which I had not had the chance to use. I was able to eventually get back. So what I was doing for several months, and I'm still doing, is the Max T3 HIIT workout thing here. During this time, I was also researching and learning a lot of information and relatedness to fitness, whether it be exercise or diet, and I'm still learning a bunch of really awesome stuff. And this is how I stumbled around Lena's channel. There was a few videos which suggested working out during nighttime too. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to do some nighttime workouts too. And so I looked for ones that would be like right before bed. The first one was kind of a hard pass that I found. It was just like, you gotta do 50 sit-ups, 50 push-ups, 50 pull-ups, 50 deadlifts, and 50 diamond push-ups, something like that. You know, just something really super intense. And I feel like wouldn't help anyone sleep. I just feel it would just be like, you know, a spike of adrenaline or whatever. You know, that's how I found her channel. Then I started doing her morning yogas. Then I would do a few of her routines, like, you know, her boxing HIIT workout or one of her cardio 30-minute workouts. And then when she announced the challenge, I figured, oh, hey, I can put all this stuff that I learned into good use here, and also I can learn more. This is where I can start setting a goal for myself, because beforehand, I really didn't have a goal. It was just more of like, get up, work out, move on with the rest of your day sort of thing. And then that's how I subscribed to Lena, and also it's because she said she needed a workout buddy, and
become my next workout buddy.
And become my next workout buddy.
And become my next workout buddy.
I have no friends, so yeah, I could use a friend. Anyways, joking aside, my starting measurements before the challenge were 234.5, and my total body fat was approximately 22%. Now this is now for body fat, but I used to measure it with a skin fold clipper. Arms were 15 centimeters and 6 inches. Waist was under 15 centimeters and 45 and a half inches, and the thigh was 56 centimeters and 22 inches. My breast and belly button rate that I measured was approximately 2,303. Now, setting the goal is actually to change the first goal because it was kind of unrealistic. Now it's to get down to 210 pounds. And I kind of realized how unrealistic it was after the first week, so I changed it to like 220. I wasn't dead set on that goal because I'm kind of been taking this 5 pounds at a time, and I'm still in. And my end goal body fat percentage was 18%, and I wasn't exactly sure what my body would look like. The first week, obviously, it was like any workout program that someone will take for the first week. It definitely was not the most pleasant experience, and however, at the end of the week, I did lose a few pounds. I was at 331.3. My diet to start off the challenge was not the best, as I did have leftover pasta with some really, let's just be honest, not good for you Alfredo in there. But yeah, I somehow still lose weight even with that in mind. What I switched over to immediately was tuna fish sandwich. However, the issue with tuna fish sandwich is what I'll bring up in week 2, which I'm going to get to right now, in which I weighed 228.4. So I lost a few more pounds. Now in relation to that tuna thing, the main issue that I found was the bread went bad super fast. So what I did was I switched over to this recipe that Sunyan Panda does, for his snack, and I used that as my lunch. And what it is, it's a rice cake. And also because rice cakes last longer than bread, it was a rice cake. Then you put cottage cheese on top of the rice cake, and then on top of the cottage cheese you put tuna, and then on top of the tuna you put avocado, and then you sprinkle on black pepper on top. Now, I know that sounds really bizarre, it might sound disgusting to some of you, but trust me, it is super, super good. It is so good, guys. Speaking of diet, what I pretty much ate for the whole challenge, I like to mention, is for breakfast, what I had was oats, but with the oats, I would mix in half an apple, half a banana, and then some cinnamon, and I would occasionally have an egg with it, or 2 eggs, I should say. Now, week 3 is where I'm really still going on a roll. You know, I'm not like necessarily like having each workout as necessarily like a cakewalk. I'm not like completely exhausted by the end of it, but doing pretty well. I'm at 224.9 pounds. Week 4 is where things got really challenging, and I did have a bit of adversity. So I think the first thing I should mention with the diet, and this, I don't know if this is going to be a major one, was I started to think about, oh hey, I'm going to make some protein smoothies. And the first recipe I used, it was a chocolate one. However, it was pretty big, and if I can be honest, looking in hindsight, it probably wasn't that good for me. Even if I were to like cut out a lunch, it's still not the best option. It also didn't all fit into the blender. Not to mention the 3 nights that I did give it a shot, if I could be honest, I felt like crap afterwards. And the other thing in relation to workout is during the Max T3 surge day, what happened was during the double unders, I felt this really intense, sharp pain in my right side. However, I didn't think much of it during the time. I just thought it was, you know, kind of like a burn that people would get when you were running for a bit or you're jumping for a bit, you know, like nothing special. It's just like, you know, burn, and then I can get through it. It'll go away, and then, you know, I can continue. But this was, let me tell you guys something. It was way worse than that. When I noticed it had stayed, what I thought was, all right, it's just a cramp. It'll go away during my rest period, and that's something I found out during the research on whatever this pain is. However, it didn't go away during my rest period. In fact, it stayed for like 5 days. During day 3 or 4, I was thinking, do I have to go to the doctor over this? It was really agonizing. In relation to the workout, I actually had to skip a lot of the actual exercises. I still went through and did the workouts because I'm the kind of person who doesn't like skipping anything. I don't think I've ever actually skipped an actual workout except for one day, which I'll get into the reasoning when I talk about the final week, because it was something that was completely out of my control. But it was just hell. Like, I've been tired during workouts. I've had my arms sore during workouts, but I've never felt a pain that bad. It was so bad that, like, you know, certain exercises, like for example, the whole like that I could start to do now, which is I think it's the reverse crunch where you put your legs behind your head sort of thing. I couldn't do. It was that bad, and I really did feel bad about having to skip, you know, exercises. But obviously, what Lena says is that you should always listen to your body and don't do something that your body's telling you no on. And my body was definitely screaming no at me on those.
Always listen to your body.
It's not about no pain, no gain. The truth is no pain, no injury.
In terms of outside the workout, it made things like bending over or just walking or sitting down, like those were kind of painful too, to be honest. It was just a really miserable few days for me. Yeah, that kind of sucked. However, thankfully, in the final week, I was able to just bounce back and did pretty relatively well. However, I did have one little challenge, and that was halfway through the week, we were out of power, and we were out of power for about 2 days. So that meant I couldn't do the Lena Snow workout. But pretty much left it to me to try to keep active. So what I did was I conserved as much computer power as possible, did the Max T3 workout, and then would occasionally do small little workouts throughout the day. But I really did spend most of the time during the power outage sleeping, to be honest. So my final weight at the end of the challenge was 224.7 pounds and 15% body fat. And my final measurements on the arms were 38.1 centimeters or 15 inches. My waist was 107.315 centimeters or 12 1/4 of an inch, and my thighs were 52.07 centimeters or 20.5 inches. I did lose a little bit in the waist and the thigh, but I did gain a bit of muscle in the arms, so that's pretty exciting. Now, one of the biggest challenges I definitely faced with, this is kind of a general thing, especially for those of you that are looking to get into fitness and, do the challenge or trying to eat healthy or whatnot, is I think the biggest challenge for me is, especially on the spectrum of the YouTube fitness community, everyone kind of says contradictory things to each other. Like, one person will say, you should only eat organic, and the other person's like, it don't matter if you eat organic or not. Now, in relation to that, my personal stance on that is the only thing I really go organic on is cheese and milk when it comes to cow's milk. However, I don't use cow's milk very often. It's like maybe once a week now. And the one that I use is Maple Hill 100% grass fed, which I think is a little pricey for milk. However, if you're someone like me who doesn't use milk every day sort of thing, I do think it's definitely at least worth it, and the milk is pretty good. However, if you do use milk all the time and you kind of want to save money, I definitely do not recommend it. Just do whatever the heck you're still doing. So yeah, I think that's the biggest challenge in terms of the fitness community. In terms of workouts itself, I really do like them, and I did find the most challenging one, aside from the ab ones, which I feel is everyone was going to say, because let's be real, the ab workouts are the ones that I'm pretty sure most people do not look forward to doing at all. And that is yoga, surprisingly. Yoga is kind of a bit of an endurance to do, and especially since downward dog is personally the bane of my existence. I really do not like downward dog. I definitely do feel really good after doing yoga, even if I do not necessarily like the 40 minutes leading up to it, or sometimes hour depending on the workout. The other cool thing about Lena as a instructor is that she's definitely more laid back than a lot of the instructors, especially whether it be on the workout programs or on YouTube, who are just like very in your face, very aggressive, and just very pumped up, and you gotta push yourself, man. Yeah, don't you dare drop. She's more laid back, which I do think is definitely a lot more helpful in the long run. I really do like that, especially, the whole not pushing yourself too far, which is contrary to what a lot of other people will say, which is like, okay, what I'm saying is going to be complete exaggeration when it's like, when you break your arm, that's when you feel the burn, man. That's when you know you've lost a lot of weight, so you better be doing those deadlifts until you break your arm, yeah. I should mention this. Oh, this is the other thing that I actually buy organic, and that is, well, during the month I was doing this challenge, I was doing the Skippy all natural honey. However, I'd like to mention that when it comes to like, this is kind of a little bit of a tangent on like peanut butter, but it's something that I'm pretty sure a lot of us love is peanut butter. So whether it be like Jeff all natural or Skippy all natural, whatever major brand, when they say like it's all natural, it's kind of BS. Like if you look at the ingredient list. So if you're gonna buy like the regular like peanut butter, I would say go for the whole 100% peanut thing, which unfortunately means you are gonna have to stir it, but hey, at least with the workout challenge, you'll make stirring peanut butter a little easier. However, with what I was leading into was one thing that I actually seen a bit of a recommendations for doing is PB2, or what I'm doing now is PB Fit. So yeah, it's way less calories, way less sugar, way less total fat, and you're still getting a good amount of protein with this. So yeah. The other thing I use, and this is completely optional, but it is definitely recommended for me with my protein powder, and that is the Isomix. This is really good, like regardless if you use like blend smoothies or not, like if you want to just do it like, with some water and ice, it does taste pretty damn good. And with smoothies, it's actually pretty damn good too. Now the smoothies I used after, that bit of a trial error is, I think I don't know the guy's last name, but his first name is Joe. I'll link the video in the description below, but he has these really amazing smoothie recipes. Right now I've been alternating between the tropical one and the berries and stuff.
Yes, yes, witness the infusion. Oof, that is the one. And because we use all frozen fruit, we're going to witness a much better consistency this time. Check the thickness, mate.
And it's a really good way for me to get in fruit. And also for dessert, what I've been doing is the Simeon Panda banana cake, which is just really good. Like, it is amazing. And of course, I'll occasionally have a bit of an unhealthy dessert here and there, which would be like, Oreos or ice cream, and try to stick to the serving. I'm also intensifying the Max T3 too at this point, by the way. That is throwing in this guy. Now this is around 25 pounds, maybe 27, and what I'll use this for example, in the Lena snow is like during the row your boat or Russian twist as it's known. I'll use it as a weight, like, yeah. Now I want to know in the comments down below if I should do the summer body challenge in July. Now the reason why I'm not doing it right now is because I feel like doing 3 different, like, I guess you could say workout programs in a row is a bit overkill. So yeah, I think if I do decide to do the summer one, I'll probably not do the K-pop body challenge that month. So, and also in relation to diet, one thing that I should mention that's not the healthiest, but I did do because I'm kind of on a budget. I use store brand tuna and in vegetable oil. It's like 99 cents. So yeah, that's everything. That's my experiences with the challenge, and I hope this is useful for anyone who wants to do the challenge. And I hope that you all enjoyed seeing my results. I know I still don't look exactly the best or the most ideal body shape type. I still can't be like those fitness channels, especially when they're cooking food where they're just like completely shirtless in the kitchen, completely impractical, but hey, whatever. I completely understand though. I've gained a bit of muscle in my arms while all those channels are doing those flexing. Because I'll admit there's been a few times like where I've been, I don't know if the word's vain, but like I've been checking out my arms a little bit, which is pretty cool. Especially since I think my arms were pretty skinny. I don't know. I will find out when I look at some older pictures of myself before I started working out. Or even like before the challenge, which I'll be seeing the after picture in the editing of this. So yeah, that's kind of my process on everything, and I'm still learning, and I want to thank everyone for taking their time out of their day to watch this video. And I hope everyone has a great day.